Boys and girls, I present to you Speckled Trout. Speckled Trout. Good morning. Today we're going speckled trout fishing. The tide's rising all day long until 1 p.m. and it's supposed to stay pretty calm out, under 10 miles an hour. So you'll see at the first spot. All right, usually I would graph a little bit, and I am graphing a little bit now. And I'm just not, there's some stuff in the water, but nothing crazy. I don't know. I just don't think that I need to run around this whole thing. The water kind of looks a little green. I just watch that trolling motor head go in the water and like, I don't know, man. It could be better. Let's just pick up a jig, cast it around, see what that gets us. I'm so confident with my ability to fish a jig that I can go around this thing. If I don't get any bites, then I just know it's good, it's time to go. So find that thing that you're confident with, that you can fish the whole water column, especially the middle and the bottom parts. When you fish these rigs, especially if you've never fished one before, you really just want to go around the entire thing. You want to fish all four corners of it. You'll find spots on a rig where the fish stack up first, and then as more fish come in, they'll fill up all the secondary and tertiary spots, if that makes sense. So around these rigs, you'll see little chair wells, or just smaller little structures that are around the main rig itself, and those will stack up with fish. Sometimes they can have fish on them when there's nothing on the main structure. So keep that in mind. Sometimes what I like to do is get right on the rig, especially when it's calmer like this, and cast in the legs. You just never know what might actually be inside of the legs. I've done really well with speckled trout doing that. But I'm only going to give this a couple more casts and we're going to go. Here's a cool little tip for you. These rigs we like to fish, like what's behind me right here, people talk about fishing the shell pads around them. I'm going to show you what the shell pads look like on sonar. So you can see all these pilings right here that we just passed up. And the shell pad is that harder, wider return you see right there on the screen. That's that harder stuff. All the darker stuff, that's like the soft mud. So the edges of the shell pad, or the shell pad itself, is what you want to fish. But if you come out here and you start fishing, you know, the main structures that you see and whatnot, you're going to incidentally end up fishing a shell pad anyway. But it's still good to use electronics because a part of that shell pad might extend out farther from other parts of the rig. And if you have electronics, you'll know that. All right, let's give this a whack. Dude, the water here is dirty. It is so dirty. Yeah, I'm really not feeling this at all, just because it is so friggin' dirty. All right, this is done. We ain't fishing it no more. I was looking at this rig earlier and I saw that there's a boat on it already, so I didn't want to fish it. Then I got to thinking, it's just one boat. There's enough room. You can get in there. Well, in that time it took me to get over here, another boat pulled up. So let's try this out. Actually, water here looks a little bit better. Or maybe just because the sun's coming up. Here we go. There's a freaking trout. Not a bad one. There we go. Skunks out the box, baby. See you later, buddy. That's speckled trout number one. Get off my drink. All right, that's it. There we go. That's speckled trout number two. I'm gonna throw a drop shot next. We'll see what that does. So I'm sitting here watching the other boats fish, and they're catching fish. They're not demolishing them though. And I'm seeing a lot of throwbacks to smaller fish or sheep's head, and I think that's because they're using, well, not I think, I know that they're using live bait. And there's a fish I'm not catching because I'm not fishing live bait, which I'm all right with that because I don't want to catch those fish anyway. Because if they're fishing live bait, okay, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 10 other lines in the water. If there's 10 other lines in the water and they're all fishing live bait and they're not really catching them, they're not whacking them, then why would I stay? But I'll tell you one reason why I will stay, and I'm holding it right now. Trout number 3 is why I would stay. All right, bud, I'll let you go. There you go. Caught this on the heavy drop shot. It's just a same drop shot I always fish with. It's just got a little thicker line on it, a bigger hook, and a matrix shad, not a tiny bait. Just not so much a normal like finesse setup. It's more power fishing kind of setup. Here we go. Wow, this is a trout. This is a nice one. And it is. That is speckled trout number 4, ladies and gentlemen. Bam. This one feels like it keeps. It feels nice. It feels nice. Oh yeah, it is nice. That right there is speckled trout number 5. Thanks, buddy. All right, let's do the speckled trout catching montage. Look at that trout. Oh. Speckled trout number 7. Number 9. Trout number 10. We're in the double digits, baby. Now that's a better looking speckled trout right there. I'm counting that. 13. Ooh, man. Speckled trout number 14. Gosh, on the retrieve. That's speckled trout number 15. I'm hung up. So I'm hung up on the bottom right now, right? And what people will do is that they will just do that and put all that bend and flex on the rod, and that isn't going to do anything. That isn't going to get anything done. Or they'll point the rod, which is just more of a correct way of doing it to pop that line, point the rod straight at where the snag is, and then pull back on it. But all that's happening is that drag is paying out. So they might notice that and then grab the fishing line. But that isn't what you want to do. What you want to do is grab the spool and hold the spool so that drag can't go out. Crank down on the snag, grab that spool so the drag can't pay out, and then pull straight back so that way put all the force on the line and it pops. Hopefully just my weight came off since it's a drop shot and not the actual bait, and that's exactly what happened. And that's why you throw drop shots. Trying to figure out a good way. Where's the sun at? Boom, there's the sun. Okay, I'm done here. We got 15 fish, so we went from not having, not doing so well to doing a lot better. But I think the bite here is dead. It might be dead across the entire basin for now, but what I'm thinking is that we can make a move to get back onto some good speckled trout. Maybe possibly to catch 10 more. So I'm gonna get this boat squared away and then we'll get moving, and I'll see you at the next fishing spot. All right, this is not where I wanted to end up, but it's where I've ended up. So I'm gonna fish it. I'm gonna give it an honest shot. I'm not gonna stress out over this. We're just gonna do it right now. Water here is dirty. I hate it. It's not I mean, it is like more green, but it's like a really dirty green without being that green. I'm just not into it, man. We gotta let the fish figure it out and tell me. Or not. Or maybe there's just no fish here, which is possible. There we go. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to speckled trout number 16. And you know, this guy is a little bit on the smaller side, so I'm gonna measure him real quick just to be sure that he is in fact 12 inches so that we can count him towards our count all day long, son. All right. Boom. Whoa, back in the water you go. Okay, for me to come out here and pick one up that quick tells me that it is worth my time to keep going. Oh, following fish. Oh, she nailed it right there as I was just bringing it up out of the water, finishing out the retrieve. Come on, come out, come out, come out. Following fish, good to go. Devin Denman knows what to do with that. Yes, give me a pattern. That's all I ever want. I just want a pattern. Tell me what to do. Give me something. Give me clues. I'll figure it out. I'm gonna try throwing something that's got a little more pink color to it. Sometimes that's a good color for whenever you're like in stained water. Just pink has a little more body to it, that's all. That color pink. Look at that. That's hot pink, baby. There we go. And she wasn't far off the rocks. Come here, you perfect little eating size speckled trout. I'm totally gonna throw back. Oh, speckled trout, baby. Back in the water you go. Keep going. Oh, that felt friggin' awesome. Nice trout. Nice speckled trout. We're on a decent bite right now, considering that it's later in the day, given the conditions and the timing and all that. We're not doing bad. That fish was just sitting on it, hardly committed to it. I say hardly. She's hooked pretty well. This is a male. And this is speckled trout number 19. Back in the water you go. Thank you. There we go, right off the back of the boat. Oh man, if this is a trout, it's a nice one, and it is. All right, here we go. Boom, speckled trout on the Zillion and the Seth Fighter jerkbait combo. This makes speckled trout number 20. Back in the water you go, baby girl. What? What? On the retrieve back to the boat. Oh my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen, oh, boys and girls, I present to you speckled trout. Speckled trout. Speckled trout 21. So I ended the day with 21 speckled trout, not bad. And when I get home, I'm gonna post a fishing report for today. So if you'd like fishing reports for speckled trout, redfish, flounder, and more, all you have to do is visit LAFB Inshore on Facebook. And last but not least, if you'd like to learn everything it is that I know about speckled trout, how to locate and catch them from scratch, even in brand new areas, all you have to do is become a member of LAFB Elite. You'll find a link in the video description below. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to know when the next one goes live, all you have to do is subscribe and ring that bell for all notifications. Thanks for watching, and tight lines.